everyone, and welcome to Lesson 2. So we're going to be building upon those skills you learned last week. Last week you learned the basics. So this week you're going to do some fine-tuning. You're going to learn about quality over quantity. You're going to learn about formatting. You're going to be able to put that resume together. Go ahead and craft it. Do your first draft. Start looking at it, seeing what you think. I'm going to talk about some common mistakes for resumes, things that commonly occur, and how you can avoid those common mistakes. And then we're going to be, like I said, talking about formatting, being consistent. You don't want to over-format your resume. You don't want it to be so complex or difficult to look at or read or understand. But you need it to be simple but elegant. You need it to be understandable. You need it to be concise and well-written. You need it to flow well and have a purpose. So those are some of the areas that we're going to go over this week. And like I said, we're going to have the two assignments in addition to your forum. So your forum, make sure you chime in on that and do the responses like I've indicated for you to do within your groups. And you will be, like I said, the two assignments this week are you're going to be doing a peer review. Now, this peer review is going to take you some time. So obviously you're going to have to put your resume together. So make sure you set aside some time to really work on that. And like I indicated last week, make sure you look at those resume examples that I've given you in the resources. Make sure you take some time to really review how those are put together, because they can all be done so differently, and see what applies best for your situation. And you can have a vast array. You want to have some different types of resumes put together, but go ahead and just, if you're struggling, just get it done. Just put one to paper and see how you do. But you want to try to put your best effort into it, because it's really going to have a payoff. Like I mentioned earlier, this is your personal marketing piece. This is how you are setting yourself apart from your peers. This is what sets you apart and paints that picture for that employer about who you are. So go ahead and start working on that and getting it ready. Now, like I said, with the formatting, you want to have some consistency. You don't want to have things all over the place. You want to make sure it's easy to follow, that your eye. One of the things that research has shown is that typically, this is such a hard statistic, is that typically, a hiring manager only has 6 seconds. 6 seconds to read your resume. So that resume really needs to give the information quickly. It needs to be easily identifiable, easy to read, and understandable. Okay, so that's important. And you need to kind of keep that in mind when you're doing your resume. If 6 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, and it isn't. But that's really about, when they're getting hundreds of resumes in, that's all they may have. So, like I said, you're going to be doing your peer resumes, and you want to get some good feedback. And that isn't necessarily that you like everything in the resume when I say that. What I'm saying is that you need to use some constructive criticism, have a basis for what you're saying. Don't be too critical, but just, because everybody is subjective. Resumes are very subjective, and they can just vary person to person depending on their situation. Don't be, it's not going to fit in a box for everyone, your resume. So just go ahead and do a peer review on the other person. And then it's always good to get some other, have some other eyes. After you've looked at your resume for so long, it's always good to have another set of eyes to look at your resume. And then you're going to upload your resume into the career management system called Handshake, so that one of the career services professionals can review your resume, and then you can actually start applying for positions on Handshake and start, looking for opportunities that are available to you. And I suggest along the way, this is not part of the class, but I suggest along the way that you go ahead and keep a folder of all of the different types of resumes that you've applied for, and especially if when you're applying for something specific, so that you know which resume you sent them, okay? And just keep a record of the different positions that you're applying for, because that's really important, especially if you're in the midst of a pretty hard job search. You want to make sure you keep a record of that. And then also, like I said, you'll do your final draft of your resume when you upload it. All right, well, good luck in this last week. Thank you so much.